Welcome to Comics with Dan. I'm going to review Choose Your Own Adventure Forecast at Stonehenge. So I remember reading Choose Your Own Adventure books as a kid, so I figured that this one would be worth giving a shot, and it didn't disappoint. Forecast at Stonehenge is published by Oni Press and did a really good job of sort of capturing that same feel as reading one of these books when I was a kid. I figured that since this was a Choose Your Own Adventure book, that it's only appropriate that this be a Choose Your Own Adventure review. So if you want to access different parts of the review, look at the timestamps on the screen and pick which part of the review you want to hear about. So this story revolves around you, the reader, making a trip to Stonehenge and meeting a man named Alistair at the request of your friend. Depending on the choices that you make once you get there, your adventure can vary from fairies to encountering a cult, and the length of your journey can be either extremely short or extremely long. Full disclosure, I didn't read every single possible path with every single possible ending, but I did read a handful. And the back of the book actually has a sort of guide, a little bit of a chart that shows sort of the different possible paths, or at least the structure of those paths. It doesn't reveal what choices you need to make or what those endings are, but it does show you sort of the number of choices and the different branches off from those choices you can make. So I think that that's nice because it'll help somebody that might want to read the entire story with all the different endings, but it's not going to spoil the endings for anybody. One note, as a Catholic and father, I generally try to keep anything that is, contrary to our beliefs, definitely watch out for that kind of stuff whenever it comes to giving it to the kids. So with the main character, or rather one of the main characters, being considered a druid and there being a cult of druids and sort of having that sort of association, that's just something that I kind of wanted to highlight and point out in case that's not something that you wanted to pass off to your kids. So if you want to access different parts of the review, look at the timestamps on the screen and pick which part of the review you want to hear about. The art is very manga inspired, which isn't generally a style that I enjoy, but I can definitely see the amount of skill and talent that the artist has. It's extremely well done, even if it's not a style that I particularly enjoy. So I think that if you do enjoy that manga style of art, that it's definitely something that you'll like. I liked a lot of the detail in the pencil work, which is something that I typically really enjoy, regardless of the art style. So if you want to access different parts of the review, look at the timestamps on the screen and pick which part of the review you want to hear about. The colors in the book were pretty well done. I think the colorist did a good job of matching up the tone of what was happening in the story, whether it was a sort of a good choice being made versus a bad choice being made, to the color palette being used, using sort of darker colors when something more ominous was happening versus using brighter colors whenever something positive was happening. And I also think that the colors, the entire color palette was extremely vibrant and bright, which kind of brought a nice, easy reading tone to the book. So if you want to access different parts of the review, look at the timestamps on the screen and pick which part of the review you want to hear about. The lettering was done pretty well. There was some good inventive, creative uses of lettering and some pretty decently illustrated sound effects. I also think that the structure and the format of the lettering that was done really lent itself well to sort of the non-traditional storytelling format that we saw. So if you want to access different parts of the review, look at the timestamps on the screen and pick which part of the review you want to hear about. Overall, Forecast at Stonehenge was a fun read that sort of scratched that nostalgic itch for a choose your own adventure book. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars because I think that it was a pretty good read, and I enjoyed reading it, even if the story didn't really resonate that much with me, and the art style wasn't something that I typically get into. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, check out these other videos, and thanks for watching.